Do you know what? I love the beach. It's my happy place. And it's no secret that I love food too.
Beautiful. A good meal can make my heart sing.
I like a breakfast hash.
And soothe my soul.
I'm always dancing in my kitchen, I can't help it.
So I'm getting out and about, meeting some amazing people, producing wonderful, feel-good food.
Wow.
And I'll be sending my friend and fellow chef, Joseph Dennison Carey, off in search of some inspirational stories of his own.
It's so good.
All the amazing characters and flavours we discover will inspire me to conjure up a treasure chest of delicious dishes that I know will put a smile on your face too.
Yeah, boy. Yummy top. Can I finish now?
I'll make a racket, didn't they, eh?
Yeah. Feast your eyes on that. So join me on my travels and in my kitchen for some good mood food. Oh, I do like to be beside the seaside. Yes, I do like to be beside the sea. Beautiful sunshine, wonderful fresh air, sand between your toes, and of course, lots of wonderful, delicious food. So all our recipes today have been inspired by the sea. I'm off to the coast to find some exciting ingredients with forager Alicia Vasey.
That is just like horseradish, it really is.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I'll be making use of our finds in my zesty seafood kebabs with shaved courgette and fennel salad. Chef Joseph Dennison Carey has also taken a trip to the beach to find out all about sea salt.
Oh, wow.
And I'll be baking a delicious chocolate sponge tray bake with salted caramel sauce, inspired by Joseph's visit. Naughty. And finally, I'm frying up a seaside classic, my beer-battered fish with triple cooked chips and mushy minted peas. But first up is my crab and lemon linguini with pan grattato. Sounds so exciting when that Italian word pops out at you. It's very simple. It's that lovely, crispy, crunchy crumb that goes on top. And we're going to blitz that all down in our food processor. Let's start with that, actually. I'm going to show you how to make that. First, you're going to take a bit of bread. And then what I'm going to do is take a nice kind of chunk of that. There we are. I'm going to remove a bit of the crust, just a bit there we are. And then, just going to dice that up. You can tear it with your fingers if you like, actually, so don't worry about that. And pop that into your food processor. And a little bit of oil going on the top of there. Fabulous. And what about that lemon? Well, you know me and my zest. I love a bit of lemon zest in things. It adds a freshness. Kind of says seaside, doesn't it? When you smell that sort of lemony stuff. Ah, lovely. There you go. Bit of lemon zest in there. Don't forget a little pinch of salt going in there too. That's okay. And then we can start to blitz that up. Fabulous. So I'm just going to take a bit of that parsley, I'm going to chop it up and then just give it a little pulse. You know when you sort of put something in there, give it a little brr, 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 brr. There we are. Just take a little bit of that, pop that in there. Now I think that's it. Absolutely perfect. And I'm just going to transfer that onto our tray here. And that is our pan grattato. Not quite finished yet. We're going to pop that into an oven, not for very long, for about 7 or 8 minutes. That's, I'd say 180 if you've got a fan oven, 200 otherwise, and that's gas mark 6. Now, what about your pasta? Well, I'm going to be using some linguini. There's so many different shapes, so many interesting varieties when it comes to pasta. Linguini, I think, just goes so well with the lemon and the crab. Got my water boiling there. Make sure you get loads of salt in there. As the late, great Carluccio would say, the water should represent the sea, should be as salty as the sea. Here's our pasta. Remember, look at this, guys. Remember that little twist? Okay, like that. Can you see that? You twist it and you drop that in. So twist, drop in. So it's kind of all sort of splayed out a little bit like that. But let's crack on with that beautiful crab sauce to go with it. Okay, got my heat on there. Red chilli. Running my knife down there. And I'm taking a teaspoon and I'm just going to get rid of those spicy seeds. So just push it like that. And it's easy to use a spoon. Sometimes with a knife it can be a little bit like, oh, you've got to be a bit careful. With a spoon, you can be as rough as you like. Okay, bit of chilli. Okay, and this time, instead of using a light olive oil, which I did for my pan grattato, I'm actually going to be using an extra virgin olive oil. A bit of quality going in there. Be generous with yourself, okay? There you go. And then we can put our chilli in the pan there. Now, we don't want to burn this, okay? Nice low heat here, guys. All right, nothing too aggressive. That's followed by your garlic. I want to keep all that lovely flavour in there, so I'm just going to squash that down. A little bit of salt on there. Give that a little bit of a squash. That's it. Oh. This reminds me of holidays already. You know, when you're sort of squashing down a little bit of garlic and you've got the chilli, you've got that wonderful oil. Let's get that in there anyway. There it is. All right. Stir that around a little bit. Ah, that's perfect. Look at that. Really lovely. Just loving that. I'm just giving my pasta a little bit of a help along the way. Oh, the pasta is boiling. Oh, it's moving so sweet. Pasta with crab and lemon. Linguini makes me so happy. It does. Cooking like this makes me happy, guys. A little bit of wine going in there. Does need a little bit moistened with a bit of wine. Okay, you can increase the heat now a little bit because we want to reduce that down. You've got the moisture in there. It's not going to burn your garlic or your chilli. There we are, a bit of lemon juice going in there too. Beautiful. A little bit of lemon juice in there. Just going to reduce that down now. And then we can add beautiful, gorgeous, fresh crab. That's lovely. All right then, let's just add the addition of a little bit of parsley, fresh parsley that's chopped. There we are, touch of that. Okay, nice and rustic, and a little bit of lemon zest going in there now. Got the lemon zest in there. Look at the colours there, isn't that beautiful? Our fresh parsley going in there. Wow, just look at that. It says seaside freshness, that's what it says to me. Seaside freshness, it's all there. Now, pasta's ready. So, if you want, you can use a colander. What I like to do is I just like to pick it up like that and drop it straight into my crab meat. There we are. That's it. Okay, I think we're nearly there now. Ooh. Crispy. Beautiful. No parmesan in sight whatsoever. Any Italian will tell you that. All right, you don't need, once you start dealing with the fish and the seafood and everything else, you really just don't have any of that. There you go. Oh, oh, oh. Well Well, there you have it. My crab and lemon linguini with pan grattato. Especially for you. Today we're exploring all the delights the seaside has to offer. Later, Chef Joseph Denison Carey heads to the Jurassic Coast in search of sea salt.
Delicious.
And I update a childhood favourite, chocolate sponge tray bake with salted caramel sauce. Oh, you tease, Ainsley. But before all that, I'm off to the seaside in search of some unusual ingredients. Now, if I said to you, do you fancy come foraging on the beach, you'd probably think I was a bit mad. But have I got news for you? I'm about to meet Alicia Vasey, who knows everything there is to know about foraging on the beach. It's going to be a tasty experience. Oh, hello, Alicia. How you doing?
All right, Ainsley, how you doing?
What we got here then?
What we got here is sea arrowgrass. But it's actually coriander.
You're joking.
I am not indeed. Have a scuffle of that. Yeah.
There's no smell really.
No, there ain't any smell to it. So you don't have to wash it or prepare it or anything. You don't even have to cook it.
That's amazing.
I know, isn't it?
And it's got
Yeah.
this natural saltiness to it.
This seafood dishes, do you use it like chives? Just chop it up, just sprinkle it on, and you've got that
You can
coriander.
put it on salads, you can put it
Anything.
in, like, especially potato salad
Yeah.
or something like that.
And the thing is, and this is with all the sea herbs, you've got this plant and it spends 12 hours underwater, right? 12 hours underwater, but it won't grow unless it rains.
Okay, so you can't just rely on the natural seawater.
No, do you know what? The seawater does not give it the nourishment that it needs. It actually needs fresh water. So it's just chucked it down, yeah?
Well, we can feel it now, can't we? It's lovely out here, Alicia.
Oh, yeah.
You know how to date a bloke.
You are. Anyway, you might as well make yourself useful.
Oh, God, I know. It's lucky I brought me bucket, isn't it? Come on, I want to know more about this. Come on.
All right, so you see this white flower, Ainsley?
Yeah.
All right, this is scurvy grass. Oh, right. All right. Yeah. And we had this oral tradition, you know, it does what it says on the tin. So you eat that and you stop getting scurvy. All right, and it comes back to that vitamins in winter thing. So this is a winter plant and it gets quite big leaves on, but it's as hot as horseradish.
Oh, wow.
Go on.
Is that edible now?
I'm going to make you eat it.
And do you eat the flower or just the stem?
The whole thing.
The whole thing?
Well, you don't have to eat the whole thing. You can just have a nibble on one of the flowers if you want. Okay? And then all of a sudden there's a little bit of a kick to it after a bit.
That is just like horseradish, it really is.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
That's brilliant.
Should we do something that's got apples in it?
I'm here.
You
I'm
love
here.
me,
I'm at your
yeah.
disposal.
We've got a bit of sea parsley in here.
Yeah.
Ooh. So what we've got here, these little leaves.
Okay.
The stem's really tough, but the
Okay.
leaves are great.
Oh, wow.
Crunch, succulent, Granny Smith, apple flavour.
It's quite citrusy though. It's got a little
Yes.
bit. This is absolutely amazing. The sea parsley, and you just put it into your mouth, you bite it, and it just goes bang, and you get these wonderful sort of citrusy flavours just come bursting through. Love
do,
it.
don't you?
Love it.
So we've got like an appley flavour. You've got the coriander. We've got the horseradish. Let's do the asparagus.
Let's go.
So you see this little plant here? I'm just going to pluck it up. Asparagus of the sea, Ainsley.
What?
Sea aster. Yeah, tastes just like asparagus. So it's quite succulent, you know, like sea purslane. All right, so just try one of those.
My word.
Do you know that they try and cultivate this, but you cannot get it as good as what you can on the beach.
No. There's a lovely taste to it, a real freshness.
And it's beautiful. You just blanch it, you just put it with your seafood, and it's fantastic. Honestly, it's really good.
You've heard it from the expert, eh? It's simple, it's edible, and it's underfoot. Come
And
on,
it's
let's
free. Oh dear.
Now, obviously, Alicia is an expert when it comes to foraging, so if you're in any doubt, get some advice.
Well,
I've discovered there's so much more to coming to the beach than just building sandcastles. In fact, it's a whole new edible experience. Do you know what? It was so lovely foraging with Alicia. Just great just being out there in the outdoors and discovering what actually grows on our shores. She's inspired me. I wanted to come out and cook outside for you and create one of those wonderful barbecue dishes using fabulous fresh ingredients. Yeah, it's my zesty seafood kebabs with a courgette and fennel shaved salad. Let's crack on, guys. Now, I want to start off with just getting a little bit of honey into your bowl. There you go, beautiful. We're going to add some oil, followed by lemon zest. This will kind of liven things up a little bit. Now, guys, one of the things I do have to emphasize, you see, I'm putting lemon in here, which really says to me that I don't want to marinate fish in there for too long, because after about 20 minutes, it's going to cook that fish. So you don't want to leave it in there for too long. But having said that, it does need a good 10 or 15 minutes to really get some flavor into that fish. Squeeze that in there. And one of my favorite ingredients, sumac. Have a look, you can pick it up in your supermarket, and well worth investing in because it's great with fish and meats. Now, because we've got the honey in there, have to give that a good blend together. There we are. Now, we're going to introduce our fish. I've got some fabulous scallops here. Really, really, really lovely. So I'm popping my scallops in here. I've also got some wonderful prawns, no shell on those, they're peeled prawns, and I've got some delicious white, firm, sustainable fish there in the form of haddock. All of that going in there. And this is the good bit, so let's just turn those over. There you go, and then, you know what I like a little turnaround like that. And like magic, da-da-da-da, that's it. And here's one I made earlier. Marinated that a little bit earlier. What about skewering it up? Simple enough. I've got some bit of lemon slices here, and all I'm going to do is take that, very gently put it in there like that, and then I'm going to put a scallop on there. If you wanted to, this is when you can really have some fun. Go on, let's have some fun. I can put that in there like that, and then very gently put that in there. That looks really cool, doesn't it? Isn't that lovely? Look at that. Isn't that lovely? Yeah, beautiful. Right, now we can go on, another bit of fish, nice bit of haddock. And notice, look, I'm putting it on an angle. Can you see, just make it interesting. This is the type of food that, you know, barbecue is having a bit of fun outside, that al fresco way of eating, which I absolutely love. Another scallop. I'm just going to wrap that inside that slice of lemon. You can see that, look at that, beautiful. That's going to be followed by another bit of fish. That's it, pushing that down. Bit of lime. Be careful, guys, you know, you don't want to spike yourself, so do be careful of that. There we are, and I'm just going to come back a bit and push that through. That's it. Look, can you see the effect that we're getting there now? Really lovely. We're going to make up a few more of those, and then we can slap them onto the barbie. What is lovely is that won't take long at all. Okay, now, I think we should start doing some cooking, don't you? Oh, wow. Here's my little babies. Perfect. Now, whilst there's cooking, let's get on, and we've got to make a lovely salad. Got my fennel seeds here. Okay, that's a lovely sort of aniseedy flavour. I'm going to crush that down. That's fine, that's it. I've got a little bit of beautiful fresh dill. Let's get some of that in there too. A little bit more honey going in there. some olive oil. Bit more lemon. Beautiful. Squeeze that in there. So, that's it. Just stir that around. Now, what about that salad? Here we go, guys. I'm using a mandolin, which I think gives you real control. And I want nice thin slices. Look at that. You can see what I'm getting here out of that. Okay. Very gently just rubbing this up and down. Look at that. Look what I've got here. Look. Beautiful. I'm just going to take that, and we've got this lovely, beautiful, thin pieces of courgettes going in there. Look at that. Isn't that lovely? And I've also got some fennel. We can do the same with our fennel. Yeah, and look at that. Look at those beautiful, that's what I talk about, that shaved pieces of courgette and shaved pieces of fennel, just tossed through there like that. Look at that. Get your fingers in there and give that a little bit of a rub, really. Oh, beautiful, guys. Absolutely beautiful. There you go. And look at that. Can you see that? A little bit of caramelization going on here. The idea of introducing some honey into it. Look at that. It goes onto the grill, and instantly, there, as soon as the heat hits it, it kind of sizzles it, crispens it, and gives it that lovely appearance. I've also got some bit of rocket there going in there. Hey, look at these. Thank you, Alicia, for my foraging weed in this wonderful beach, Bandicanwell Sea. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm going to chop that a little bit. There you go. Look at these. Oh, beautiful. Some of that going in there too. Just get in there again. Give that a little bit of a twist. Whoa, look at this. Oh. There we are. You get the picture now. You know what's happening. You know exactly what's happening. You know what's going on. Come on, my lovely. There you go. Oh. And here we have it. Look at that, my zesty seafood kebabs. All the flavours of the seaside are incorporated in there, along with that beautiful courgette and fennel shaved salad, just for you. Go on, get stuck in. We're delighting in dishes, all inspired by the seaside. So far, I've cooked up for you my crab and lemon linguini with crispy pan grattato, and zesty seafood kebabs with shaved courgette and fennel salad. And now my mate Joseph is heading to the seaside.
There's something about the sea air that just lifts your spirits, and I'm here on the beautiful Jurassic Coast to meet a man who loves that air so much he's built his entire business around it. I'm here meeting Jethro Tennant, the founder of the Dorset Sea Salt Company, to find out what makes this place so special. How's it going, mate?
Hello, you all right?
I mean, this is picturesque, what I'm seeing right now. What inspired you to even work with sea salt in the first place? I mean, where did that idea come from?
Yeah, it's an odd thing to get into. So, I mean, for me, at the time I'd just graduated from university, I was looking for that kind of career,
Sure.
grown up adult
Lost
job.
out of uni.
Yeah. So I was probably procrastinating at the time from applying for jobs, and I was reading about local history.
Right.
And I stumbled across an article that was about sea salt production on the East Weirs of Portland.
Okay.
So I began getting a little bit nerdy about it,
Right.
and started trying to make sea salt for friends and family.
What makes it so special here? What's specific about this water that
Yeah.
makes the salt that you produce?
Yeah, well, this is kind of protected coastline here. Lots of aquariums use this particular stretch of coastline up and down the country for their water to preserve their sea life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
and there's a completely unique sort of geology of the Jurassic Coast. So the mineral profile of our sea salt is distinct, and that will add or detract from the final flavour depending on what minerals and trace elements you've got in the seawater and the finished salt. And people love the fact that they can literally see the sea where the product's made from.
I can't wait. I need to go and try some of this salt. Should we go and have a taste?
Yeah, absolutely. Come on over.
Nice one. So, Jethro, tell me, how do you get from that to this?
So the whole process in general takes about 5 days. In simple terms, we take the seawater and then we heat it, turn it into a concentrated brine. Once we've got that brine, then we'll then evaporate that super salty brine in shallow trays with heat lamps above to emulate the sun, like they make sea salt in France or Portugal, where the climate's,
Where they can rely on the sun being there all the time, unlike us.
So we use these heat lamps to emulate the sun for that reason. So once we've got that concentrated, super salty brine, that is then passed into our evaporation trays. The trick is just evaporate it really slowly, and then you start to produce these really nice crystalline structures and flakes.
Lovely.
So then once the salt is ready, you can see it splitting out of the brine, but once it's ready to go, we'll very carefully come along and harvest it and scoop it out, and then we'll dry that salt in large drying cabinets. And then we will sieve and grade the salt, and then we'll either flavour it with different flavours, or we might package it as we do with the
Just as
natural.
this plain guy. And
straight up.
Well, let's try this classic first. I'm
Yeah.
really interested by the structure, and I kind of want to just explore that first. So let me get stuck into this. It tastes like salt, but I'll tell you, it tastes delicious.
The natural one you just tried, that's the original, put us on the map. Really, so it's real strong and minerally briny taste. And then the smoked one, that was actually our second flavour that we came out with. And a really versatile flavour for all your veg or your meats. Use it as rubs, whatever.
I mean, straight away.
So you smell it first, right? Yeah.
Everything, the palate, the fragrance of it, delicious.
Yeah.
Let's try this next one.
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm coming across quite greedy, but to be honest, they're pretty good.
That's all right. You crack on. So tomato, olive, and basil. This is really
talk to
good.
me about that.
It's quite a nice light sea salt, so it's really good as a garnish on salads or on breads. A nice butter, or a
Nice.
focaccia. Or
I was going to
something
say
like that.
focaccia, maybe like an Italian-style dish. would go quite
Absolutely.
well.
Yeah, that's really good.
Oh, wow. I tell you what, the basil comes through straight away, and then the tomato afterwards.
Yeah.
Jethro, I'm inspired, man. Honestly, when I came walking to you and I saw you with your little bucket down there, I had no idea this is the kind of thing you'd be putting in front of me. It's absolutely delicious. It's creative. It's amazing. And I cannot wait to start using this in my cooking.
Yeah, great.
I find this so inspiring. What about you, Ainsley?
Wow, how wonderful was that? And Joseph, got to say, I have been inspired, mate. It kind of makes me want to create something that reminds me a little bit of my childhood. It's my chocolate sponge tray bake with a salted caramel sauce. Straight away to get into that, I've got butter that I'm going to put into my bowl. It's kind of slightly softened butter, so if you can take your butter out and bring it up to about room temperature, it really, really helps. You don't want it too firm. I've got some sugar going into it. Got a combination of 2 sugars, actually. Nice bit of soft brown sugar and the white sugar going in here. Lots of lovely sweetness. Nice and soft to start with, guys, all right? And as the sugar blends into the butter, you can just take the power up just a little bit more. Okay, you see how it's getting a little bit softer now? Then you can turn that up, because we really want to get to that lovely, fluffy stage. Got to be a little bit patient, but you know what? Beat it, 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 till it's fluffy and light. Now, I'll just switch that off, touch. Okay, then I'm gradually going to be introducing my eggs, but one at a time, all right? Don't just throw all your eggs in there. 1 egg. In there like that. Perfect.
Now we can pop our dried ingredients in. I'm going for the flour first, which I've got here. Just sieving that through. Don't really need to sieve through the flour, but I think sometimes the cocoa, if you're like me and you've had your cocoa powder in your cupboard for a while, they get them little nuggets in there, don't they? Sometimes you just have to push those through. Hey, let's see if we've got any nuggets in here. Oh, no. I think that's just straight in there. Something beautiful about the sort of cascading powders or flours when it's coming through this sieve, isn't it, eh? And I've got some baking powder. Now, just to start with, I'm going to fold that in a little bit using my spatula, making sure it's equally distributed in there. I'm going to get my beaters in there now so I can really get a good even distribution. Look at that. Love it. Perfect. There we are, a little bit of milk going in there now. Again, nice slow start. Oh, that looks so good. Perfect. All right now, got that in there. There we are, look at that, beautiful. That's that consistency, look at that, beautiful. And then I'm going to put my chocolate chips in here. Naughty. There we are, beautiful. Just in there like that, fabulous. And then we can take our mix, pop that straight into my tray here that's lined with parchment paper. All right, and we're going to be putting this into an oven which is 160 degrees if you've got a fan oven, 180 otherwise, that's gas mark 4. So I want to smooth that out. Okay, and now I'm going to sprinkle on my little cacao chips, just nice and gently. Gives it a lovely bitter taste, you know, slightly crunchy too. In we go. That's lovely. Now for our salted caramel sauce, we're going to start off cream, double cream going in here. Bit of sugar, brown sugar. Along with here, I've got some golden syrup. Just putting that in. Fabulous. Butter going in here too. And last but not least, the old sea salt. The grain's a little bit coarser than what we normally expect with salt, but I tell you what, it really does pack a punch. Perfect. So just stir that round. And we're just going to bring this up to the boil. And not going to take long. As soon as you feel all those crystals and everything has disappeared, then you can switch it off, put it to one side and let it cool down for about 5 minutes. I've turned off the heat now. You can see that everything's dissolved beautifully. We put that to one side. I've got my chocolate tray bake in the oven. And the only thing left to do now for me, whilst that cools down, is to go and put the kettle on and make myself a nice cup of tea. Ooh. Okay, I think it's about time we've take this out now. That's been resting for a while. Wow. Look at this baby here. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, yes. I've got a bit of ice cream here. Ooh. Ooh. Don't you just love it when you get puddings like this? There you go. There you have it, my chocolate sponge tray bake with salted caramel sauce with the addition of some vanilla ice cream. Why not? Enjoy. We've had quite a sea feast today, haven't we? Starting with my delightful crab and lemon linguini topped with pan grattato, to zesty seafood kebabs with shaved courgette and fennel salad. And the modern day twist on a sweet treat, my chocolate sponge tray bake with salted caramel sauce. And there's still one more dish to come. Now, no trip to the seaside would be complete without fish and chips and a bit of peas on the side. Do you agree? I think so. But these are no ordinary fish and chips. I'm going to be doing for you my beer battered fish along with triple cooked chips and some mushy minted peas. Absolutely perfect. Now, when it comes to triple cooked chips, people, most of the time, they just order in restaurants, don't they? There's something that you don't want to do at home. I'm going to show you how you actually do it. Now, notice I'll take a little cut there so you get it nice and firm on your board. OK, that's it. And it's important that you choose the right potato. I think a russet is really good, red russet if you like, or something like a Maris Piper. King Edwards are not too bad. For me, my favourite is the Maris or the russet. I think it works particularly well when you're doing the triple cooked chips. Cut them down here. There you go. Nice and big, chunky, look at that. 1, 2, we can cut them like that. And when you get to that stage, pop those into a saucepan, cover them with just enough water, pop them onto the stove, bring them up to the boil, cook them no more than about 4 to 6 minutes, really, depending on how thick you like your chips. You take them off, you put them onto a tray that's got a dishcloth on it, a tea towel if you like, and I want you to dry it out. There it is, they're on there. Just kind of pat them dry like that. And then take those and pop them into your fryer. So we're talking about, 160, 170. And this is the second stage of cooking. Whilst they're frying away, in literally 2 or 3 minutes, we'll make up our batter. So you better get on with it, Aids. I certainly will. We've got some flour going into our bowl. OK, good old plain flour. Bit of the old baking powder there. Touch of salt. And just a pinch here, just a pinch of the cayenne. Just rubbing that through. That's it, lovely. Give that a little bit of a stir. All right, then we're going to add my secret ingredient. You heard me say it a few seconds ago. Well, it's the great late Gary Rhodes that used to do the absolute perfect beer battered fish. Really, really lovely. But the secret he always used to say to me is don't over mix it, OK? So in we go. That's OK. It will foam up a little bit, but don't worry about that. There you go. Now that's done. Now, what about our fish? Check this out, guys. Beautiful. I love a piece of fresh fish. So take that. I'm just going to cut that. I'm just thinking, what size would I like? So I'm going to cut that across there like that. We've got a couple of bits. There we are. And then to that, I'm going to squeeze a little bit of lemon juice onto my fish. It'll firm it up beautifully, won't it? Also adds a little bit of a little flavour, if you like. There you go. Touch of seasoning. Now, let's take out those chips, shall we? Now, this is the second cook. All right, out they come. Now, they're still cooking, guys. What happens, what we've done here is we've created that crispiness on the outside, so it's kind of sealed it, which means that inside it's still steaming, it's still hot. A bit like when you cook the fish, it doesn't always soak up all the fat. People kind of think it's too fatty. No, it acts as a kind of protection, and then inside it steams, and that's what you get with fish or indeed triple cooked chips. OK, let's move on. I've got some flour here, so I'm going to take our fish fillets and we're going to put them into the flour, like that, OK? Push them well down, making sure they're well coated all over in the flour, And the idea of coating fish in the flour, of course, is that that will allow the batter to cling to it, okay, to stick to it for in an easier term. Do you know what I mean? Take our fish, in we go. That's it. Right. You get that, just like they're doing the chippy. There you go. And another one here. There we are. There we are. Lovely, they're in there now. We're talking about 6 or 7 minutes for those to cook through. Beautiful. Crisping up already, looking really, really lovely. What about those minted peas? What I've got here is my peas, just frozen peas that I've taken out the freezer. Okay, plunged them into a pot of water, just enough water to cover them. And then I've added a little bit of fresh mint and some chilli and a bit of butter. Pop them into my food processor after they've kind of just come up to the boil. And look at this, I'm just going to give this another quick blitz here. And I think that's about it. Yeah. Look at that, look. Isn't that gorgeous, that texture there? That's what we're looking for. I'm just going to warm that up a little bit to serve with our fish and triple cooked chips. Wow, that fish looks good. Now, that's probably been in for about 3.5 minutes. Why don't we put our chips back in there and finish them off? Okay, turn that heat right up. That's about 180, 190. I don't mind that at all. Back in with your chips and straight back into the fryer. There they are. Everything's frying off and you're in for an absolute treat. Da-da-da-da. Are you asking me for fish and chips? Oh, yes, I am. That really is the perfect dish. Ooh, la la. There you go, look at that. I've even got a nice little perfect cone there. So let's take out our chips. Here they are. Check these out, guys. That's what you call perfect chips. Look at those, look. Look at these babies. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Aren't they fantastic? Look at that, eh? Just check those out, eh? That's fantastic. Woohoo! There we are. Now, let's get out those fishies. Woohoo! Yeah, beautiful. Hey, was it 1 or 2 portions you wanted, mate? Hey? Oh, just the one. All right, then. Get your chips in there, son. Hey, bit of mushy peas. Yes, please, mate. Here you go, son. Hey, it's for the wife, is it? All right, I think I've got a bit of mint in the fridge. Hold on, son. There you go, mate, eh? Anniversary, was it? All right, then, I think I've got a bit of chilli. Oh, son, all right, then. Hey, she's going to love that, isn't she? And the fish. How about that? Well, there you have it, my son. You've got beer battered fish and chips there. Actually, they're triple cooked chips, along with a side of nice, mushy minted peas for you to enjoy. Go on, get out to the seaside. Ah, the place where the land meets the sea, creating amazing landscapes, fantastic ingredients, and of course, happy memories. I certainly hope I've conjured up the taste of the sea for you. See you next time.